Campfire Classics is a classic literature podcast. However, your hosts will occasionally use not-so-classy language and immature humor to describe very mature situations. As such, listener discretion is advised. Hi, I'm Ken Sandberg.
And I'm Heather Michelle Lawler.
Welcome to Campfire Classics, where we try to read those books that look really good on your shelf.
And due to popular demand, I'm back. Hello, everybody. I did actually get a lot of messages and emails.
I know. I think this is the most we've gotten response.
The most response. I got just random messages from, they were all people I'm familiar with, but it was funny. Heather, please come back. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. I ended up getting a couple of them because I know Lindsay, for example,
I saw that
sent us a message to one of our joint accounts.
To the Campfire Classics account.
But then you showed me a couple of text messages that you got from people directly.
Yes. So I have returned. The past couple weeks have been a lot. A lot's been going on between we traveled 2 weekends in a row. We were out of town, and then we also were ramping up for some summer stuff, and it's just been we've been busy. So.
Yeah. But isn't it nice to know that when you aren't around, people are sad?
Yeah, I guess.
Honestly.
Yeah. It was so funny. The first one I got, I was like, what? And I just turned to Ken. I'm like, what? He goes, oh, yeah, I may have mentioned something in the episode I recorded alone about you should have Heather come back. And then I had a couple people mention, because Ken doesn't comment on his own reading, that there were some severe sex jokes missed.
Yeah.
What was the one that Doug was talking about?
There was a swollen something or a throbbing something.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
And
it was it said in the rear and nobody said anything.
He came to him.
Yeah. So sorry I wasn't there to let out my 12-year-old human energy.
Fest.
So I'm back, and I will attempt to bring out my most inappropriate humor today to make up for the lost episode.
Although I will say, sometimes I do things like that, whether it's just me recording or occasionally when it's an episode we've both done. Sometimes I will sneak in a little message like that for me is just to see how closely you listen to the episodes after we record them.
Which is sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So our podcast tends to come on after I've caught up on the two podcasts I listen to for the most part. And it'll just come on when I'm biking or I'm walking, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should listen to this. So sometimes I listen and I go, did I say that? But this is the funny thing about our podcast is since Ken edits, and I think we've talked about this, and I do everything live and unscripted and stuff, I almost immediately forget everything we do except the story, the actual story itself. I forget so much that when I'm doing research, I'm like, wait, have I researched this person before?
Have we already done this?
Yeah. And then I forget the jokes I made and stuff. So when we're trying to come up with a clever title that's fun and catchy, and I'm like, what did I say in the episode?
There have definitely been times when we've been recording and Heather has gotten to the point where she's revealing the author or the title of the story. And I'm like, yeah, we did that one. A year ago.
Most of those happened when I wasn't recording.
True.
When we had our stand-in people who were awesome, like Emily and
Torin came in. My brother did a couple episodes. My mom did a couple episodes.
So a lot of times I just missed that episode because I was in a place where we did not have internet, and therefore I just missed that we had documented that we'd done that episode, and then I'm like, oh,
someone's
shit.
got a Campfire Classics binge coming up.
I don't know if I don't actually. So I'm one of those actors that does not mind the sound of my own voice, and that's because we were taught to listen to our own voices, specifically in grad school. I've been taking singing lessons my whole life, so I've had to listen to my own singing voice, and that's a whole nother thing of self-insecurities and stuff. But my speaking voice I'm pretty okay with, so it's not like I don't like listening to our own podcast. Yeah, I just sometimes I forget, but I guess I'll binge. Who wants to binge with me?
Yay.
Ooh, my boob just touched the microphone.
That's what that sound was.
Whee!
So our listeners' ears all just groped you.
I'm cool with that. That's what I get for missing the episode. You all get a one feelsy handsy.
One
boob
feelsy earsy?
one boob brush. One ear boob brush. There you go.
All right.
It was the left one, just so you know.
So in the future, if you see her, you'll know.
You know.
You'll know what that sound feels like.
Yeah.
What that sounds like.
I would like to think that the brushing of my breast sounds better than what that probably sounded like, because that probably just sounded like. But a little ASMR for y'all on this Campfire Classics Tuesday.
So
Wednesday. What day do we drop?
We drop on Wednesdays.
Okay. That's right.
So in a minute, I'm going to explain what it is we ordinarily do. But before that, I actually want to test drive a new bit.
Oh.
This is called Ken's Hot Takes.
Ken's Hot Takes.
Where I make problematic proclamations and share my contentious opinions.
Oh.
So
I'm scared.
This week's hot take, brunch is dead.
No.
Don't get me wrong. It is the best meal of the day. The flavor combinations that you can make by pairing breakfast and lunch with regards to like savory versus sweet, and the fact that it's a meal where we're encouraged to drink coffee and alcohol at the same time, like I'm a huge fan. It's not with the meal. It is the word. Right?
Oh.
Brunch.
Okay.
Brunch is a portmanteau. Fine. Breakfast plus lunch. You get brunch, but just objectively speaking, there are better options out there, like breakfunch and lunkfest.
Lunkfest sounds like a Norwegian dish.
Yeah.
What was the first one?
Breakfunch.
Breakfunch.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really cool Scandinavian band. Breakfunch.
I like
We are
that.
Breakfunch.
Hello, Oslo. We are Breakfunch.
They are definitely performing at Eurovision.
And it's all breakfast-themed songs.
It's all brunch. Well, Breakfunch. It's all
Breakfunch
theme songs.
Yes.
I'm into it. Little eggs Benny, little French toast, little huevos rancheros. Yeah.
Yeah. With a side of, Bloody Mary or mimosa.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, yeah, okay. I mean, I can get on board. I'm probably always going to say brunch, but I can add a new name to it.
Right.
I was very upset when you first said brunch is dead. I was like, get out of my sound booth. I can't marry you.
I'm glad we sidestepped that particular issue.
We're both very, very, very passionate about
very
the
pro
meal
brunch. We just
that happens between breakfast and lunch.
We just enjoyed it yesterday at
after
Sabrina's
work.
Cafe.
Oh, Sabrina's. If you're in Philly, go to Sabrina's Cafe.
So
they are
anyway,
not sponsors. They should be.
Listener, dear sweet camper, your mission, should you choose to accept it, and you will, because I'm not giving you a choice, is
Do it.
to start calling that meal that happens between breakfast and lunch, usually on the weekends, breakfunch.
Breakfunch.
Yeah, or lunkfest.
Or Lunkfest.
So yes, so that is my hot take, my problematic proclamation for the 22nd of May in the year of our Lord 2024. Brunch is dead. Long live Lunkfest.
All right. Okay, I like it. I was a little nervous when you were explaining this bit. I was like, wait, what are we about to talk about?
I don't know.
I like it. I like Lunkfest and Breakfunch.
Breakfunch. It works.
My dyslexia is competing with itself right now.
Breakfunch. It does a body good.
It does. Very much so.
Yeah. But anyway, that's not really what this podcast is about, although weird wordplay does factor heavily.
Yeah, I would say that is a nice amuse-bouche for the newer listeners of what we do.
If you enjoyed that, strap in, baby, because that's what you got to look forward to for the next hour, 40 minutes, hour and a half. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll find out.
It's always a game. Because what we usually do here is we read short stories that we've pulled from the obscurity of public domain, and sight unseen, we attempt to perform them, interpret them to the best of our ability.
Just get through them sometimes.
Sometimes it really is just getting through them.
Just got to get through them.
The more accents there are, the dodgier it gets. You're welcome for everyone who listened in last week that I did not attempt that Australian accent.
Good day, mate.
But this week I have chosen a story for Heather to read, but before we jump into that, I'm going to share a few fun facts to put us in the mood.
Fun facts!
So, this week, we've got us a new author.
Another one?
Unless I've forgotten an episode where we read him before.
Okay.
This author is partially directly, largely responsible for one of the sexiest movies of all time. One that I also happen to know is a personal favorite of yours. Care to make any guesses?
I'm trying to think of my favorite movies.
Largely due to
sexy.
the cast.
Oh, Mask of Zorro?
Yep.
Oh. I love it. I was like, it was that or The Mummy.
Yeah.
It was that or The Mummy. I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, The Mask of Zorro. So the author is Johnston McCulley, an American writer of hundreds of stories, 50 novels, and numerous screenplays for both film and television, and the creator of the character Zorro.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
All right.
His other popular characters include Black Star, the Spider, the Mongoose, the Crimson Clown, and Thubway Tham.
The Crimson Clown? That sounds like a horrible name for my period. Or periods in general. But it's like, oh, guys, I'm just not myself today. The Crimson Clown came to visit me last night.
Crimson because obviously, and clown because sometimes you
joke's on
laugh,
me.
sometimes you cry, and you never really know who the butt of the joke
Yeah,
is.
pretty much. Your hormones are all over the place. You don't know exactly where you land. And you're kind of terrified all the time.
Yeah.
And so is everyone around you. It's fine. I'm going to start calling. You got Breakfast, or Breakfunch, and I have the Crimson Clown. Here we are at Campfire Classics, changing language today. Suck it, Shakespeare.
So next week, Ken's hot takes. Menstruation is dead. Welcome to the Crimson Clown.
Welcome to the Crimson Clown. I would also say that might be what that new Prince Charles painting looks like. It looks like you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry, not to distract, but you've all seen it. I mean, it's been the hot news because they just revealed the very first official painting of King Charles.
Wow.
I will always call him Prince Charles.
So, hey, listener, this is a visual bit. So if you have to pause this to look up the painting, go ahead and do that now.
You won't miss it. It looks like and I'm not a huge fan of him in general for many reasons, but he kind of looks like a Crimson Clown. Isn't that terrifying?
What the goddamn hell is that? It looks like, I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like Tristan got a red crayon and drew all over Han Solo frozen in carbonite.
Yeah, a lot of people have compared it to the painting in Ghostbusters.
Or that.
Yeah. The one that's like, Igor, what's his fucking name? I don't even remember. But you know what we're talking about. It's that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrifying. So he kind of also looks like a Crimson Clown, but I like it for my period better. He has enough stuff in his life. He has enough.
So the other option is that you now start calling your period King Charles.
Ew, no, ew. I don't want him anywhere near my bits. For so many reasons. There's so much inbreeding in that family.
Anyway, back to Johnston McCulley.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Mask of Zorro.
So he had some crazy character names.
Yeah, awesome.
His character names were almost as wild as his pen names, which included Harrington Strong and John McStone.
Ooh, those are definitely in Westerns.
Yeah. Those were just the names that he wrote under.
Yeah.
So born in Ottawa, Illinois, which is about 2 hours southwest of Chicago based on what the traffic patterns were doing when I looked this info up.
Yep.
So like 3 miles?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. In
Roughly.
Chicago, that is roughly 3 miles.
Johnston graduated from high school in 1901. He started writing as a reporter for the Police Gazette and became a public affairs officer for the Army during World War I.
Okay.
He was a huge history nerd, and he drew on his knowledge and historical research when he started writing for pulp magazines and screenplays shortly after the war.
Yeah. I mean, knowing things about the world make you a better artist.
Yeah.
So knowing history will make you more interesting as a writer.
He first wrote The Curse of Capistrano, a short novel, as a one-off, never expecting to reuse his silly little masked protagonist, a hero named Zorro. He wrote this in 1919. A year later, Douglas Fairbanks was starring as Zorro in the big screen adaptation of that book called The Mark of Zorro, so Johnston decided to bring him back. The original novel has sold over 50 million copies, and the character has since featured predominantly in over 60 stories by Johnston, more than 35 stories and novels written by other writers, at least 40 film adaptations, and that's not counting TV series, radio dramas, comic strips, stage adaptations, or toys.
Wow.
So good for Johnston.
Yeah, I think he kind of banked on that one.
Yeah, he did okay.
And always forever in my mind, Zorro just will be Antonio Banderas because perfection in that movie.
And in everything.
And in everything.
I love you, Antonio.
I love you too.
Naturally, his other characters were eventually given fair attention after Zorro made such a big splash. The Crimson Clown is a wealthy bachelor by day who moonlights as a sort of modern-day Robin Hood, or predecessor to Batman.
Oh.
And Thubway Tham has been described...
Which sounds like the worst lisp ever.
Has been described as a small, short-tempered gnome of a man, a professional pickpocket with an annoying lisp. The king of his chosen profession, a master dip who works only in the subways of New York City.
So he's the precursor to, what's his, Stupid Rabbits? Like that, Elmer Fudd?
Thuckatath.
Yeah, or Daffy Duck, I guess.
Anyway, it is one of his adventures that you will be reading today.
Oh, okay.
I
will not be using a lisp.
From 1918, this is Thubway Tham's Inthane Moment.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's start this fire.
Oh, no. Thubway Tham's Inthane Moment. 1918. Y'all, that's the way it is written. I am not putting that on. It is THUTHA, like Inthane.
Inthane, yeah.
Yep, it's supposed to be like that.
The lisp is written in.
So don't cancel me. All right, by Johnston McCulley.
Or Johnston McCulley.
No, his name is Johnston McCulley. Detective Craddock stepped nearer the front of the little cigar store on the corner and almost pressed his nose against the window as he glanced inside. There was an expression of bewilderment on the countenance of the detective.
That means he looked confused.
Yeah. His eyes bulged and then narrowed to two tiny slits as if he was considering something highly unusual and wondering just what it might mean. His lower jaw drooped and then came up again with a snap, expressing... Yeah, you can do that. I have too much jaw tension to make my teeth do that.
To make them click?
Yeah.
I shouldn't because my teeth are a mess.
I mean, it's not great for you, but I literally don't have the jaw tension to, the lack of jaw tension to make that happen on purpose. Okay.
Can't close your mouth that fast.
Also, I get really weirded out with like teeth things like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's because I've had a lot of dental work. His lower jaw drooped and then came up again with a snap, expressing determination to get the goat of Detective Craddock, who was a terror to those in the underworld. The underworld? Is he a ghost detective?
That would be awesome.
I think he means the
Guessing
underworld
the
of
criminal
the
underworld.
Yes, I know.
But I like if Detective Craddock is an underworld detective.
Yeah, I kind of want him to be a ghost detective. He was the terror of those of the underworld. It was necessary only to attempt to put something over him. And Detective Craddock was not absolutely certain, of course, but he feared that a certain person was attempting to put something over on him now. And to make matters worse, that certain person was no less a personage than Thubway Tham. Despicable Thubway Tham. Oh my God, I'm going to spit so much during this episode.
Yes.
Thubway Tham was a clever pickpocket.
I'm really glad you've got the spit shield
Me
on.
too. I use a spit shield because when I'm doing voiceover, I tend to over-articulate because I'm used to talking on stage. So even when I'm trying not to articulate, I tend to that. But today, you're just going to get it. So sorry. Thubway Tham was a clever pickpocket, one of the cleverest in the business, and he worked only in the subway during rush hours.
Good time, yeah.
That makes sense. I wouldn't go down there when it's empty. That seems stupid.
I think I have accidentally picked pockets during rush hour in the subway. I mean, there are just so many people crammed in there. Statistically, you're gonna rob someone.
Literally, you're like rubbing up on people and like...
Just can't help it.
It's just when you're on one of those cars that like people are just fighting to get in so the doors don't close on their bodies. Yeah. He long ago had earned the name in the underworld of Subway Sam. Oh, see, there it wasn't spelled that way. So, and because lisping, so he does have a lisp. All right, and because lisping, he called himself Thubway Tham. Everybody else did the same. Oh, that's nice. It's very Winthrop. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street.
See,
Winthrop.
There's a lesson to be taken, even back from 1918. He identifies as Thubway Tham, and everyone respects that.
Yeah, so respect what people want to be called, fuckers. It's not that hard. Sometime since Detective Craddock had resolved to get Thubway Tham, he had been honest enough to inform Tham. It's very hard to read this with seriousness when I have to say it like that. It is very Elmer Fudd and the Rascally Rabbit.
Well, and it's weird because it would be easy enough to read all of this if you were just calling him Subway Sam.
Yeah.
But what's hard is just going Thubway Tham and then not keeping the lisp through the rest of the sentence.
It's really hard. It's actually very difficult.
Try it at home, dear listener.
Try it at home.
Really, I've noticed once you slip into a lisp, it's actually shockingly difficult to come out of it.
Well, because it's like a laziness of muscle, I guess. It's just where the tongue placement is.
Yeah, it's a specific placement, and moving in and out of it is challenging.
It's like a lot of like dialect work or like vocal work where you like, if you're really trying to ground your voice, once you've done it, sometimes it's hard to get back up here. Like, yeah. But Thubway Tham, because you've got your tongue up here. Yeah. Yep. All right, so he wants to get Thubway Tham. He had been honest enough to inform Tham of this determination, and between Detective and Dip...
Dip is slang for a pickpocket. Because you dip your fingers into the person's pocket.
I was like fun dip? Sugar dip.
Yes, between the detective and his French onion dip.
Or I was like, maybe it's a phrase for like snuff or like cocaine or something. I don't know. It's 1918. There's You know, you got to hear about it here, right here, folks.
It's not even the Roaring 20s yet.
Not yet. Maybe Thubway Tham was the beginning of the cocaine era. Okay, so between Detective and Dip, there was a constant duel in which Craddock continually found himself the loser. Failure only whetted the appetite of the detective to take Thubway Tham in, however. So every time he lost, he was just more determined to win. That's usually how it works. And now, Detective Craddock looked through the window of the little cigar store amazed. For Thubway Tham was inside, and not purchasing a package of cigarettes or begging for a box of matches. Thubway Tham was behind the counter, waiting on trade. So Thubway Tham his day job
at the cigar shop?
His day job, he just works at a cigar shop.
I am New York's most notorious thief, and I sell cigarettes.
And I work for minimum wage selling cigarettes. Detective Craddock waited until there came a time when no customers were in the little shop, and then entered and stepped up to the counter. He grinned at Thubway Tham, but Tham's face expressed only the fact that he was a businessman. What's the big idea? Craddock wanted to know. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I fail to grasp you. Thubway Tham told him. Jesus.
Oh, this is so much better than giving you a French accent.
Oh, Jesus.
Y'all, there are like 50 Thubway Tham stories. I'm just saying.
Shut up. You're gonna get it. I fail to grasp you, Thubway Tham told him. You do, eh? Try again. You grasp me all right. Oh. He really likes Thubway Tham.
I mean, sometimes it's out of anger.
I mean, he kind of has an obsession with this guy. Maybe it's a little. He's like, Thubway Tham and his dip. He can dip. You dip, I dip, we dip. Hey.
I was kind of hoping he'd dip me.
He dipped me. Well, that's what he's about to do. You grasp me, all right. What's the big idea of masquerading as an honest working man? That is what I am, Tham replied. Yes? Yes! And don't you come around here pestering me, either. I got an honest job, and I don't want to be bothered. Jesus, I'm so sorry, everybody. There's something awfully fishy about this, Craddock said. I haven't much faith in your reformation, Tham.
No faith in the people.
Yeah,
Come on,
you don't think
man.
people can, get back,
What's the purpose of having law enforcement if law enforcement doesn't believe in reformation?
In law enforcement, yeah. If you don't believe that someone can reform, then what are you doing? No. If it's a new game, Tham, old boy, I'll land you sooner or later. There you go. Just because once I went up the river. Jesus, mother God. There you go. Just because once I was... Just because once I was sent up the river. Just because once I was sent up the river. There it is.
Yep.
There are not great letters in here to context clues. It's like that game like gibberish. Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit like reading that the one story that was in like Gaelic or
complete
Celtic
dialect,
or whatever, where I was
and you're
like,
what the fuck am I saying? And I'm like, I actually understand it. And you're like, good, because I don't.
Right.
Just because once I was sent up the river, you think I'm always gonna be a crook. You don't give a man a chance, you coppers. You cops. No. Cut out the comedy, Tham. It doesn't impress me at all. Oh, I guess he has a third job. He's a stand-up comic. Okay. The only way to impress you would be with a brick against the bean, Tham told him.
Whoa, that's a threat.
Wow. Threatening the cops now. Does your employer know you are a crook? He knows I was once in prison, if that is what you mean, Tham said. He said he was ready to help a man get on the straight path again.
Oh, is that what you're calling it?
That is, straight path. Yeah, this is like a...
Let's pray the gay away.
Pray the gay away. Very kind of him, Craddock commented. And if you pester me, there'll be a howl. I'm straight. And you've got to leave me alone. Oh, no.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much.
See, I think Detective Craddock and Tham have a, let's say, a prison shower relationship.
It's a bromance.
It sounds, I don't know, he just went, I'm straight. I know it means that he doesn't do crime, guys. I know.
It's guy love between two guys.
Craddock purchased a cigar and stepped aside to light it as another customer entered. He stood back in a corner and watched Tham handle the customer. Presently, he got the chance to speak to him once more. Go right ahead, Tham, old boy, he said. But don't forget that I'll have an eye on you. This thing is a puzzle to me, but I'll work it out. I just decided to be straight. That's not how it works.
You see, it's that simple.
It's Tham complaining. I just decided to be straight, Tham complainingly told him. I'm going to be honest and work for my living. Every person has an insane moment now and then. Maybe then, it's my insane moment. Maybe this is my insane moment. There are so many THs in that sentence.
His insane moment was deciding not to be a criminal anymore.
It wasn't to not be gay anymore. Yes. We know that straight means, like, he's going to be straight-laced, not, but I'm going to keep making the joke because I think they like each other.
He went straight edge.
He went straight edge.
Straight edge. No sex, no drugs, no alcohol.
Oh, that's so sad. And all he does is sell cigars, so he doesn't smoke those either, I'm guessing.
Presumably.
Oh, wow. Rough day. Okay.
I don't even know if straight edge is like a thing that, like, if it's a reference that people
Yeah,
get.
I don't know that reference.
It was a sort of big deal in the Christian punk scene that a lot of my friends that I grew up with were
Christian punk scene?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. The Christian punk rock scene back in the 90s.
Like
was,
Creed? That wasn't.
No.
I was watching something recently that was like, can you believe we all didn't realize that Creed was just punking us because they were a straight up Christian rock band? And then they played a clip. It's like, can you take me higher? And everyone's like, how did we not know that?
Yeah, no, like, what were they? Bands like Hangnail and Spoken.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you. What were we talking about? Straight? Being straight?
Yes.
Cool. Where was I? So he's decided to be straight. There's sure something crazy about this, said Craddock. The detective left the store, watched from the corner for a time, and then went about his business. He could not hope to catch Thubway Tham picking pockets while he was working behind the counter of a cigar store. Bullshit. Bullshit. He's totally picking people's pockets when they come into the cigar store.
Do you have any Cubans? Yeah, they're down on the bottom shelf over there.
And they bend over, and he just
yoink.
Dips right into that butt.
Dip, dip,
dip, dip, dip, dip, dip, dip, dip. Tham grinned after Craddock had gone down the street, and then gave his entire attention to the trade. It was the first day on duty, and he wanted to impress his boss, who would be coming in soon from the wholesale house. It might have been an insane moment, but Thubway Tham was enjoying it hugely, and more so because his actions mystified Detective Craddock. He sold a package of cigarettes to an evil-looking youth. evil-looking youth. The freaking youths.
The children of the corn.
I think it's fun. I mean, we were just saying how all teachers of junior high kids should be paid much more and have an instant...
And canonized.
Yes, because the shit they put up with...
Immediate sainthood.
Yep. Because they deal with a lot of evil-looking youths. It's hard to say a TH without lisping on it right now. He sold a package of cigarettes to an evil-looking youth and changed a $5 bill. Then 10 minutes... There's so much spit on my iPad screen right now.
What did he change it into? Is it a swan now?
Magic. He does magic.
Or origami, at least.
He changed a $5 bill into a 1 and said, well, here you go.
Your magic sucks.
It just disappeared forever. It's like, I'm going to do a trick with your $5 bill, and it's gone. Bring it back, please. No, that's not part of the trick. 10 minutes later, his employer, going through the cash register, found the bill and informed Thubway Tham that it was a counterfeit. Oh, fucking evil-looking youth. Stung, Subway Sam said. I must be a thimp. I gotta stand good for it, I suppose. Oh, so he has to cover his ass. Yeah. You have, said the employer. I'll get square with that man, you can bet. I remember his face. I'll get him all right. Subway Tham was of a mind that it was a reflection of his cleverness to be stung like that. He chose to be stung so he can go, like, pickpocket this fucking kid.
Or he's saying, oh, I got swindled. That's bad for my reputation.
Don't fuck with my rap. Like, my rep is strong. Do not fuck with it.
I'm the criminal. You're not supposed to swindle me.
I'm Subway Tham, and I work at the cigar shop.
I'm Thubway Tham.
I'm straight. I'm straight, and I'm Thubway Tham. Okay, so he's going to go after this kid because kids suck. Junior high kids suck. Were they playing him for an easy mark on his first day of the job, he wondered? He had agreed to work for $15 a week, and here was a third of his week's wages gone the first 2 hours on the job. Subway Tham put the counterfeit bill in his vest pocket and went about his business. During the noon hour, he found little time to think of anything except selling cigars and tobacco. Then he went to luncheon. Or breakfast. Luncheon, brunch, breakfast.
Breakfunction.
Why not? Breakfunction. Ooh, I like breakfunction. Then he went to luncheon and was not pleased to discover that Detective Craddock was watching him closely. It's like, dude, you're obsessed with me. Calm down. Subway.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Why are you so obsessed with me? Subway Tham had an hour, and luncheon took but 15 minutes. But he did not spend the other 45 minutes in the subway lifting a leather. He wandered around the streets, keeping away from subway entrances lest temptation prove too great, and at the appointed time returned to the cigar store and assumed his duties.
So he actually is trying to go on the straight and narrow.
He is actually trying. Also, it's nice to assume your duties. You got to do that after luncheon sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I like to assume that my duties will play out as anticipated,
Yes.
but sometimes they don't.
Yeah, you hope it's like during your break, you know?
Yeah.
Detective Craddock, disgusted, went to another section of the city and sought to apprehend an evildoer.
That's because he's watching him do his duties. Of course he was disgusted. Don't watch me do my duty.
Dude, you're obsessed with me. Also, this is feeling very Javert and Jean Valjean if Jean Valjean had actually committed a crime ever. He's like, I'm gonna watch you, motherfucker. Because once a criminal, always a criminal. There came a lull in business in the middle of the afternoon, and then it was that a well-dressed young man entered and announced his intention of purchasing a box of cigars that retailed at $15 the box. Ooh. Damn, that's fancy. He's got to impress some clients. Thubway Tham showed the goods eagerly, still determined to make an excellent record on his first day. He opened half a dozen boxes that the prospective customer might select the particular color he desired. The telephone rang. Tham hurried back to the instrument, which was at one end of the counter. It was his employer who called, and he gave minute instructions regarding a package of goods that should be wrapped up for a certain customer. Thubway Tham made a note with a pencil on a sheet of paper, hung up the receiver, and turned toward the customer again.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, shit.
Thubway Tham's getting screwed.
Thubway Tham is not good at his job. The customer was gone, and so were 2 boxes of the cigars, stock worth $30. Thubway Tham grasped at the nerve of it. He realized that the man had had time to mingle in the crowd outside and get away, and the cigars, being of that special brand, would be missed. Unless the money was in the cash register for them, Thubway Tham's employer would think he had stolen them himself, for Tham remembered that the boss knew his past reputation. Thubway Tham sighed and extracted $30 from his own pocket and put the money in the till. He was getting wages for $15 a week, and the first day of work was not done, and it had cost him $35 altogether.
Yeah, working's expensive.
It fucking is. It's true. It doth not pay to try and be honest, Sam told himself.
Preach, my dude.
Yeah, look at the world, y'all. A crook is the most honest person in the world. I have been stung again. Oh, he stored up anger against the man who had given him the counterfeit bill and against the one who had stolen the cigars. Thubway Tham remembered faces well, and he promised to make these 2 men pay if he ever met them again.
Oh God, this is a serial killer origin story.
Oh no. Subway Sam started out as a simple pickpocket, and now he just throws people in front of trains. It's like people getting thrown in front of the subway cars.
FBI's most wanted.
Thubway Tham.
Have you seen this man?
Have you seen Thubway Tham on the subway? The evening rush began, and Tham's employer returned to aid him with the trade. For 2 hours, Thubway Tham was kept busy continually, and then was told to go and get his dinner. This is a long fucking workday, man. He returned at the end of the hour, again successfully fighting away the temptation of the subway, and his boss went to get the evening meal.
What kind of shift is he working?
I know. He worked from fucking like 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. Or, I mean, got to be after 8 p.m. Well, I guess dinner at the time was like tea or like, I don't know. Well, no.
Maybe, but like...
Yeah, that's a long shift.
Because Detective Craddock first saw him well before lunch, and he's now taken 2 meal breaks.
Yeah, this is long before worker rights, I think, I'm guessing. So the boss went to go get some food. There entered a man who filled Thubway Tham's heart with joy, until he remembered that he had turned honest. Is this your first time in New York? Tham asked as he offered a box of cigars.
I'm gonna make you go back and do that line again because you missed an S.
Fuck off.
The word is not time, it's a visit. And I think that's funny.
Is this your first visit? Oh, no. My iPad has so much spit on it. Is this your first visit to New York? Tham asked as he offered a box of cigars. How did you guess it? The customer wanted to know.
I can tell by your accent you're not from around here.
I just made him real country. Oh, I just guessed it, Tham replied. I'm I'm here to see the sights. Yes, you want to watch out for the crooks. Some sense of delicacy prevented Tham telling the visitor to the city that his appearance and manner were a standing invitation to pickpockets. I've heard tell about these New York slickers, but they won't get me, you betcha, replied the customer. I think I chose the correct
Yep, sounds
dialect.
like.
I'll bet 6 cents, said Thubway Tham, that you've... I'll bet 6 cents, said Thubway Tham, that you got your coin in a wallet in your hip... That you've got a coin in a wallet in your hip pocket. Wow, there's not any in there. In the second part of that sentence, there's no... That's amazing. Except for that. That you've got your coin in a wallet in your hip pocket. How'd you know that? Demanded the other suspiciously. A man like you always carrieth a coin in a wallet in a hip pocket, Tham told him. It is a silly thing to do. Where's the best place to carry it? In your inside vest pocket, Tham replied. And don't pull it out. And don't pull it out where everybody can see it. That's good life advice. Don't pull it out where everyone can see it. And don't get drunk.
Yeah.
And definitely don't do both at the same time.
Don't pull it out when you're drunk.
Yeah. You're going to
Where
get in
everyone
trouble.
can see it.
Yep. Nope.
Unless it's Wednesday.
It's hump day. I mean, it's supposed to be out.
Whip it out Wednesday.
Whip it out Wednesday.
Woo!
Whip it out Wednesday. Okay. So he's giving good advice. Don't pull out your money where everyone can see it, and don't get drunk. Free with your advice, young man, ain't ya? The customer said. When I get so I can't attend to my own affairs, I'll retire to an old folks' home. That so? I reckon I carried my wallet in a hip pocket a good many years, and nobody never stole it yet. All right, said Tham. Far be it from me to suggest anything more. That was really hard to say. Suggest anything more. The customer was mollified. He announced that he would shake dice with Tham for the cigars. What?
You
Is he going to bet on it?
gonna gamble for cigars?
Gamble on it? Okay. He about to get swindled. Tham agreed, and they... I was going to say thook.
It rubs off,
Oh,
and
no.
then it's hard.
That tends to be how it works.
Usually it's hard, and then it rubs off.
It rubs, and then hard, and then it rubs off. I guess. I don't know. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Hey! Tham agreed, and they shook. The customer from out of town lost a couple of times, and then grew excited. Oh, that's what turns him on. Cool. The gambling fever entered the blood of Thubway Tham, too. I didn't know you could just go in and barter for cigars. I wonder how his boss feels about this.
Oh, no. I'm going to try that next time I go to the grocery store.
Yeah, be like, I got some dice.
Hey, want to play craps for these bananas?
No, just bring your D&D dice. Just be like, I'd like to roll for initiative, please.
Nat 20, I get all the groceries for free.
All for free! They continued to shake dice, and the customer from out of town began winning. He won continually and constantly. Thubway Tham didn't like that. He was getting the house in a bad hole. Almost before he realized it, the customer from out of town had won $10.
You should never put it in a bad hole.
Yeah, don't put it in a bad hole, Thubway Tham. I mean, he probably did a lot in prison, but, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
You don't know how long he was in there.
You know what? Detective Crockett's been gone a while. Where's he? This guy's like swindling him with gambling in a store. That can't be legal. He was going to quit, the customer announced. If it was all the same with Tham, he'd take $5 cash. Tham agreed, since it was a sub rosa rule in the store to give customers half their winnings in cash if they so desired. Oh, I guess so cigar shops are also just gambling houses.
So that's the rule? You can just gamble for shit?
1918 was weird. Is that a thing?
I'm going to look this up now.
Was that a thing?
I am not finding anything that sounds like this was normal practice, but maybe it's just one of those things, you know?
Well, I mean, like, I know, like, if you go into certain bars, especially in, like, Atlantic City or, like, Vegas, those kinds of places, Reno, like, some bars, like, are like, you can come in and have a drink, and they also have horse racing. Like, they have gambling in there. Yeah. But I've never heard of this thing where I can come in and just, like, walk in a store and say, let's play dice, motherfucker.
Hey, I don't want to buy anything, but if I roll a 6, give me a free thing.
Give me $5. Like, what? Whatever. Anyway, Sam doesn't sound like he's very good at gambling. Oh, well. He's really getting fucked over this first day of work.
I probably wouldn't get a real job after this.
Hell no. Actually, I'm thinking maybe I should just head down to the... Never mind. I mean, I think the moral of the story is honest work doesn't pay off.
That's a really good moral.
Yeah.
I think Zorro would approve.
Zorro would definitely approve. He's breaking the law. He is breaking the law.
Yeah, he is.
So was Robin Hood.
And he's already rich. He doesn't need to make money.
Yeah, that's the thing, is he's just, he's very Robin Hoody. Tham's boss came back, and the customer hurried away. The old coot twinned me for...
He's not a child. He just has a lisp. God, offensive stereotypes.
Fuck off. I see a T in this story, and I just assume. The old coot trimmed me for 5, Tham explained in a manner apologetic. Must have taken dice like a fiend, the boss commented. I thought I could rattle him, but I couldn't touch him, Tham admitted. The boss began laughing. I should think not, he said. Look here. He went away in a hurry, and he took our dice and left his own. His own? Thubway Tham grasped. Loaded, you simp. Look here. Try him. What a fucking asshole.
Trick dice.
Thubway Tham face paled. Thubway Tham's face paled. Thimp is right, he said. He felt in his vest pocket, took out a $5 bill, and put it in the cash register. Then he reached for his hat. It's not quitting time yet, young fellow, his boss remarked. It is for me. I've been working here for 1 day, and it hath cost me $40. A crook is an honest man compared with everybody else. I am a thimp. I am an easy mark. I ought to go and soak my head. A baby could trim me easy. It's no place for an honest crook. This is no place for an honest crook. Now, see here. I said what I done, and I am.
I said good day.
I said what I done, and I am. It could be... Jesus Christ. It could be too much work in this place. I'm a thimp. I quit. Bitch, I get you. It's like my first day at Starbucks. I was there for one, and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Nope.
Hell no. 4:30 in the morning is not a day that you should wake up. That is not a time in the morning anyone should be awake. Without waiting to argue the matter, Thubway Tham hurried down the street, came to Union Square, and darted towards the entrance of the subway. A short distance behind, Detective Craddock followed. Whoa. A train roared into the station, and Thubway Tham got aboard. One glance was enough to tell him that there would be no chance for profit during the present trip. There were less than a dozen persons in the car, and none of them appeared to be very prosperous.
So he's not stealing from poor people. That's cool.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that seems fair. Craddock boarded the train also, and Thubway Tham knew it, but gave no sign. He left the train at the Grand Central Station, and Craddock did the same. Back to your old tricks, are you? The detective asked. Ain't a man got a right to go to the theater after his day's work is done? Tham demanded. He certainly has, Tham. Why don't you stop pestering me? Why don't you pester somebody else? I'm an honest man. I hope so, Tham, but I have my doubts. The leopard cannot change his spots, old boy. Going to take a walk?
That's a shitty attitude.
Yeah, this fucking police officer is what's wrong with the police force. Like, if I am, I don't want you along, Sam told him. He's like, I don't want to walk with you, bitch.
I want to be alone.
Leave me alone.
You're crappy company.
Yeah, you suck. He walked briskly up the street and on a certain corner came to a stop. He bent forward and looked at a group of men near the curb. And he began chuckling. Uh-oh, did he find those people? Did he find...
All of them together?
That would make sense, I guess. He saw the stranger within the city gates who had beaten him with the loaded dice. And he saw the evil-looking youth who had slipped him with the counterfeit bill. Thubway Tham knew at a glance that the evil-appearing youth was a crook, that he had spotted the visitor to the city and was hoping to relieve him of his wealth. Oh, so now the evil-looking youth was trying to swindle the hillbilly. They just happened to be together. They weren't in on it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tham leaned back against the corner of the building and watched. Detective Craddock observed Tham's manner and heard his chuckle and began watching himself. He knew instantly, as did Tham, what the evil-looking youth was going to do. Craddock forgot Tham entirely and gave his attention to the others. Possibly Tham was telling the truth about going straight, and here before Craddock was the situation for a crime. By watching closely, perhaps Craddock could catch the evil-appearing youth red-handed, so to speak, and earn credit. Craddock had not made many arrests lately, and his captain had made some sarcastic remarks about it.
Gotta fulfill that quota.
Yeah, gotta get that quota of speeding tickets. Bullshit.
That's why he's following Tham around so much.
Yeah, he's just trying to, get his quota in for the month. It also feels very, Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
Like, it's the innocent crook that kind of, now the detective is obsessed with, and,
Yeah,
but now it seems Tham is now directing the detective to another crook.
Yeah, it seems that Thubway Tham is a bit of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
We're clearly supposed to be at least a little bit on his side.
Yeah, he seems like he's trying. Most people that do petty crimes like this, they're just trying to get by. Yeah. There's Jean Valjean steals bread to feed his sister, not because he is an evil person who likes to steal things from people,
Although if I were going to just steal shit, bread.
Bread.
I just go into a store and steal bread.
Bread and croissants and pasta and French fries and noodles and... Where were we? Where are we walking? Where are we doing? Okay, here we go. Craddock stepped back into the shadows and watched closely. So did Tham. After a time, the evil-looking youth scientifically removed the wallet from the other's hip pocket. The next instant, Detective Craddock had him by the arm. I'll just take charge of that wallet and you too, Craddock said. This will cost you a couple of years up the river, my pretty bird. The stranger within the city gates roared his anger. He protested when Craddock put the wallet into his own pocket. He made such a fuss about it that Craddock informed him they would go to the station and arrange matters there. Since the victim was one of them, they'd go on the subway instead of calling the wagon. Oh no. Thubway Tham exulted. One of his enemies had lost a wallet temporarily, and another was in the toils of the law for theft. And there was a chance. Thubway Tham remembered the $40 his day of honest toll had cost him. He wanted that $40 and needed it. As Detective Craddock started for the nearest subway entrance with his prisoner and the victim, Thubway Tham followed, shadowing the trio, as well as ever detectives shadowed a suspect. Dun, 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 dun. It's now they've switched positions. I love it. They got into a crowded car, and Tham kept Craddock from seeing him. And then he began working his way forward in such a manner as to not attract undue attention to himself. Finally, he was 2 feet behind Detective Craddock in the midst of the crowd. Is he going to pickpocket he's going to take the other guy's wallet.
He's going to take the other guy's wallet, yeah. Which will get him his money back, but because the police were in charge of the wallet, the police will have to repay him his money, so he's not actually out anything.
Yeah, so he's actually fucking everybody over, which is hilarious. The proper station was reached. The doors were open. Detective Craddock started to leave the car with his 2 men. Thubway Tham stepped up close behind him for an instant. And in that instant, his hand dived into Craddock's pocket and took out the countryman's wallet. Chuckling, Tham crept back into the crowd, and the train glided on. So it's not really crime. He's just getting revenge.
It's not a crime if the guy you're pickpocketing is a cop.
No, because he didn't really pickpocket the cop.
Well,
he pickpocketed the guy.
But he did. He stole evidence out of the cop's pocket.
Whatever. Craddock would find himself in trouble.
It's not a crime if the guy you're committing the crime against is a dick.
Facts. Facts. Craddock would find himself in trouble when the station was reached, Tham knew. His evidence against the evil-looking youth would be gone, and by the same token, the countryman would demand to be reimbursed for his wallet. Craddock's only explanation would be that he had his own pocket picked. He might even remember that Thubway Tham had been near at hand and suspect him, but suspicion would net him nothing. Craddock would have to get Tham with the goods on in order to conquer. He's going to plant the wallet. He's going to take some of the money out and then plant the wallet on the guy that came in and stole the cigars. Somehow, I think.
This is a good plan.
That's the only person he hasn't gotten revenge on yet. It's not the simplest plan, but it's fucking great. Tham left the train at the next station, walked rapidly down the street, then turned into an alley. When he thought he was safe, he investigated the wallet. There were some newspaper clippings in it, some receipts, but no money. Thung again, Tham told himself. This is a rotten day. He threw the wallet away from him and went through the alley to the next street. He made his way to a certain saloon, sat at a table in the rear, and brooded over his wrongs. It was getting hard for a prominent pickpocket to make a living, he decided, and it didn't pay to be honest when it cost a man $40 a day and his wages were but $15 a week. Tham moped for an hour and then went out upon the streets again. He stood on a corner and contemplated a crowd, wondering whether to risk fortune by picking a pocket there. It was against his principles to work anywhere but in the subway, but he told himself that this was all part of his insane moment. Someone slapped him on the shoulder. "Hey, young fellow," said a voice in his ear. "Ain't you the cigar clerk?" Thubway Tham whirled around to face the countryman. "Hello," he growled. "I want to buy you a good cigar. What you told me was right. But I don't know why he's drunk now, but he currently is. This is the country guy. So now I'm going to switch slightly from drunk to hillbilly.
Potato.
Ain't you the cigar clerk? There we go. I want to buy you a good cigar. What you told me was right, but I knew it all along. They don't fool me, you betcha. I had a wallet in my hip pocket, all right, but there weren't nothing except newspaper clippings in it, and a feller picked my pocket and the detective arrested him. And when we got to the police station, the detective had lost the wallet." "Huh?" Tham said. This not being news to him. "I reckon these New York slickers don't get gay with me." See? It's all about going straight.
You're in the wrong city, dude. You're in the wrong city.
Yeah. Are you in Chelsea? Because, go to the club, the meatpacking district. Yeah. And it is almost the gay 20s.
It is.
Yeah.
It's 1918.
Yeah.
Making it the pre-gay teens.
I reckon these New York slickers... He's country, not drunk, Heather. Country, not drunk.
He doesn't have a lisp.
No, he doesn't. I reckon these New York slickers don't get gay with me. You know what I did, young feller? I raised Cain, I did. I said as how there was $100 in that wallet, and I demanded that the detective pay me back. He argued some about it, and I took me to another room, and we argued some more. Finally, he gave me 50, and I called it square. I reckon these New York slickers don't get the best of me. You made him pay you 50? Tham queried with a gasp. I certainly did, and there wasn't nothing in that there wallet except clippings. He had to let that pickpocket go, too. I'm wise, you betcha. I've been carrying my real money in my vest pocket all the time, bills folded up. Your wife, all right, Tham said. Carrying it in your vest pocket all the time, eh? Sure, and I got the detective's 50 there with it. If this keeps up, young feller, I'll have all my expenses paid and I'll go home with a profit. Did this guy just forget that he totally swindled him? Oh, he doesn't know that he knows that they were weighted dice.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's making run-of-the-mill bad life choices, not sort of
totally
willfully.
Dick. Not like, I swindled you too, fucker. Like... Thubway Tham chuckled until the tears started from his eyes. He'd have to tell Craddock about this sometime, he promised himself. It certainly would be rubbing it in so far as Craddock was concerned. You don't owe me any cigar, he told the countryman. That is a good joke, and I'll buy you a drink. Come along. He led the way to the nearest resort that had plenty of bright lights. He ordered drinks and paid for them and whispered to the countryman about the joke, and they had more drinks and laughed aloud at Detective Craddock. I know a better place than this, Tham said, and led the way. But it seemed impossible to get a finger into that vest pocket.
Sometimes it's hard to get a finger in.
Yeah, you gotta lube it up. It's why he's lubing him up, getting him drunk. To get a finger in that vest pocket where the countryman kept the currency. It was not that the visitor to the city was on guard particularly, but luck was against Tham. They went along the dark side street, but Tham had no chance to get the money. He tried to get his man intoxicated in another resort, but found that he could not. So they
get on the subway.
Yeah, I have a feeling
that's your scene.
That's where they're gonna go. He gets stage fright anywhere else. He's like, I can't do it. I gotta be on a subway car.
If I'm gonna get my finger in this countryman.
Countryman. Ooh, you don't even have to edit that. So they drifted about the city for 2 hours, and finally Thubway Tham began to have hopes. The countryman began exhibiting the first signs of intoxication. Tham decided that he'd make the attempt soon now. And then the visitor to the city took the wind out of his sails. You look like an honest young feller, he said. See, I knew he was going to get drunk. That's why I made him drunk earlier. And you know all about this town. I can't enjoy myself while I'm worrying about my money. You take it. Here. And keep it for me. Oh, no. Give me a bill whenever I ask for it. Nothing doing, said Thubway Tham. You take it, the other commanded, pressing it upon him. All right, Tham said in a voice of resignation. You see, I ain't afraid of you, young feller. I know where you work. If you run off with that money, I'll just go to that cigar store tomorrow and get it, you betcha. Oh, he's going to run off with the money. The guy's going to return. The boss is going to know that he cheated. And yes. Yes, Thubway Tham risked. Thubway Tham was astonished. Here was a man trusting him with money. The man had hoped the man he had hoped to rob. He glanced at the bills and saw that they totaled more than $100, and $50 of it, he supposed, was Craddock's. The situation appealed to Thubway Tham. The situation appealed to Thubway Tham.
It's important to use the correct nouns.
I would agree. He knew that he could evade the countryman in some resort that had doors opening onto 2 streets, but he decided to be honest for the time being. This is certainly my insane moment, he told himself. I must be getting old or something like that. He followed the countryman for 2 more hours. They changed some of the bills, but then midnight came, and the visitor decided that he would return to his hotel and go to bed. There remained something like $75. Thubway Tham handed it back, made the other count it, and acknowledged the amount correct, and then parted from this man with a feeling he had done a worthy action. He drifted into one of the saloons they had patronized earlier in the evening, and the proprietor hailed him. "You can't play any game like this on me, Tham," he said. "What's the matter with you? You were in here and a friend, fellow who looked like a hick. You bought the drinks and you changed to 10, and the 10 is a bad one. That's what's the matter with me." Tham glanced into the man's face and knew that he had spoke the truth. "That was not my money," he said. "I've been stung again, and by a hick. Here's a good 10 for it. Great Scott!" Tham had a horrible idea. Were all the bills he had passed counterfeit? Had the customer to the city played him for an easy mark, got him to pass the money so that if an arrest came, Tham would be the one arrested? And Thubway Tham was known well in all the places where he had changed the bills. The proprietors would be quick to complain about it. Crooks themselves, for the most part, they would not have another crook play for them. With a heavy heart, Thubway Tham began making the rounds. It was as he had expected. Several men called him to account. Thubway Tham gave good bills and collected the bad ones, and explained how he had been worked. That was the worst of it. He had to explain to square himself. He had to admit that he had been played for an easy mark. He handed over all the good money he possessed. In the last place, he could not replace a bad 5, but he explained and promised to do the following day. And then, with rage in his heart, he walked towards Union Square. Thubway Tham was deadly angry now. He plunged into the subway, got into a crowded car, lifted a leather, and got out at 28th Street. He walked up to the next station, entered the subway again, lifted another leather, and got out at Times Square. He took out bills and dropped the wallets. Thubway Tham was collecting for the misfortunes on the day. It was 2 o'clock in the morning when he entered the dingy room far downtown, the room that was his home. He investigated and found that the proceeds of the night's work amounted to more than $200. "Played for a sucker by a hick," he exclaimed. "It doth not pay to try and be honest. Insane moment is exactly right. But it's a good joke on Craddock." The end.
All right.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Thubway Tham.
Thanks, Thubway Tham, for that delightful event. And I will be lisping for no reason for the next few hours. That was fun.
Hello, welcome to my upholstery shop. My name is Betsy Roth.
Fucking shit. Here we wave the flag of America. What? I've made a choice. No one knows how Betsy Roth sounded. Betsy Roth
may have had a lisp.
Betsy Roth probably had a lisp. That's why she wanted to marry John Roth. Her name was Griscom. And then it was Roth. And then it was Aspern. Aspern. And she finally married Claypool because they didn't have a lisp in it.
She finally figured it out.
You finally figured it out. Claypool. Oh!
It's when she started going by Beth, too.
Yeah, Beth.
Beth Claypool.
Because even with the lisp, Beth it still sounds like Beth.
Nope, it's just Beth Claypool.
Instead of Elizabeth or Betsy. Anyway.
It can be weirdly difficult to make many.
Are you trying to not make any words that would have a lisp in them? Yes.
I am doing that and am finding it challenging.
It is. That's why I was so shocked when I read that one sentence that was written without a lisp. I was like, oh my gosh.
There are too many. There's no way to pluralize words without adding an S.
Of course there's not. Yeah.
There are too many words that have S's in them.
Yep. Welcome to English. You're fucked. You're fucked if you have a lisp. Yep. I enjoyed that. That felt very in the realm of the stories we read often of like the it reminded me of without the lisp what's his butt the gentleman did like the gentleman crook or the gentleman
Arsène Lupin.
Yeah he's kind of that guy except he's like the low end the everyday fella.
Yeah, it was sort of light adventure.
Yeah,
sort of low stakes adventure.
Yeah, it's low stakes. I'm sad he didn't get the other guys though we did not learn if the hick showed up at the store the next day and the guy was like, "You fucker."
Yeah, who knows?
I got your dice right here, bitch.
I got your dice right here.
Bitch, welcome to New York. Yeah. So that was fun on my voice choices. I'm proud that I chose the hick before we even knew he was a hick. That was pretty impressive. And I lisped all day long. It was good.
And the moral of the story is hard work doesn't pay. Just steal shit.
Honest work doesn't pay. Hard work might pay because you can be hard at being a crook. Honest work doesn't pay.
Honest work doesn't pay. Just steal shit.
Just be a crook. Be a crook, be a crook, be a crook. It will get you money and a hook. So you're a pirate. There you go.
That'll work.
There you go. Hey. He's like a subway pirate.
Pirates of the MTA.
Pirates of the MTA.
Curse of the fake fiver.
Curse of the fake fiver. Curse of the dirty dice. The curse of the cigar stealer. Fuck you, Disney. We got this. Let's go.
We can do pre-20s parodies of the Pirates movies all day long.
Yeah, suck it, Johnny Depp. I'll take your $90 million and raise you a fake fiver.
Actually, I bet Johnny Depp would be a really good Thubway Tham.
No, he looks too sketchy. He looks sketchy.
We don't know what he looks like.
That's true. We don't.
He could also be an entertaining Craddock.
Yeah, I see him more as that because he's also gotten older.
Yeah.
I think Thubway Tham's a little nimble. He's like Tom Holland or something. I want him to be Tom Holland. Spider-Man, Thubway Tham.
Hollywood, if you're listening, and I know you are.
You better be.
Because you're a single person, obviously. Johnston McCulley's work has done well as Zorro.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time for the big screen debut of Thubway Tham.
Thubway Tham's insane moment.
Starring Tom Holland as Thubway Tham.
And I kind of just want Tom Hanks to be Craddock because he seems so much like that character. I want Craddock to be a little bit more of a dick than Tom Hanks, though. Who would be Craddock? Kind of want him
Colin Farrell.
Wow, Craddock's like
a dick.
He's a dick, yeah. He's an Irish cop in the 20s. That makes sense. Yeah, do that. I like that.
all I can think of is like UK actors.
I know, and it's a New York story.
It's
I know.
a
Well,
New
Tom
York story.
Holland's British too.
Yeah, but he always plays Americans.
plays-
He very successfully plays Americans. Viggo Mortensen.
Jeff Goldblum.
He was
Actually, he'd be-
brilliant as the cop in Pillowman.
Oh yeah. No, he's fucking brilliant. He'd probably be really good. And you'd be like, oh, this poor guy. Like, he's a mess. This cop's a mess.
Yeah, maybe that's what we want, is someone who's just really bad at their job.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, he's really determined, but he's not great at it. Clearly, he hasn't made a lot of arrests, so.
Yeah, certainly not recently.
Yeah, so.
So who's someone who's super bumbling?
Colin Firth?
Still going British.
I know.
Anyway.
All right. I think that was enough rambling of dead silence. I'm sure we'll be edited out.
So what did you think of that one, listener? Did you enjoy that story? I certainly did. I thought it was a good time. Do you want to hear more adventures of Thubway Tham?
Thubway Tham!
As read in Heather's coming and going lisp?
Sometimes you gotta come and go. Oh, come and go got bought.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because they've had so many complaints about it, and some companies come in that like has like Christian ties and is like changing it. I know.
Oh.
I saw the story a couple months ago. You just reminded me.
Are they changing the name?
Yeah.
To what?
I don't know, but it's not going to be come and go, and that's bullshit. So everyone buy your come and go paraphernalia now while you still can. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're clearly not from the Midwest. Look it up. Just look it up. Well, be careful where you look that up, because come and go might,
Make sure you spell it right.
Yeah, it's C. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's KUM and go, and it is a gas station. And it's been a joy in my life since we moved to Iowa.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right. Yeah, so if you like that story, please send in, let us know your thoughts. If you didn't like that story, send in and let us know. We'll ignore it, but that's okay.
But are you happy I'm back? Yay!
Yay! Shoot messages to, Facebook or Instagram. Just look for Campfire Classics Podcast, or email us at 5050artsproduction@gmail.com. And when you message us, please include this week's secret passcode, which is Evil Looking Youth.
Evil Looking Youth.
Which is one of the few phrases used in that story that does not require the use of the letter S.
Unless I pluralize it, and then it's
Evil
looking
Looking
youths. Which is, youths is just hard to say anyway.
Right. Well, but so if youths, evil looking youth or evil looking youths, if it's a lisp, it just comes out evil looking youth.
It's like the never ending word. It's the evil looking youth. Just want a little more spit on my iPad before we close it out.
Yeah. Heather just had a seizure or something. I'm not sure. We'll check in on that later. This has been fun. So until next week, this has been Campfire Classics, where we only eat Lunkfest.
Sister, I got a Subway Sam to come down and celebrate my birthday.
Now I'd like to order a 5-foot-long Thubway sandwich.
What?